A room next door, a man is suspended in a contraption called the witch's cradle, his eyes covered, his earphones playing constant static. These two are clearing their minds. They are going through something called sensory deprivation, preparing them for an ESP experience. The man will try to project a series of pictures into the mind of the woman by psychic power, and he will succeed. In his home in California, an IBM scientist hooks up a plant to a polygraph machine and tries to tune into the plant with his own psychic energy. The plant reacts on the polygraph as if it senses this force. In the Soviet Union, a film tells of a Russian woman who claims she can move objects across a table without touching them by means of psychokinesis, the energy that pours out of her fingertips, a phenomenon that defies the laws of physics. Are these things real? Laboratory-controlled telepathy? Plants reacting to mental energy? Psychic power that can move physical objects? Real or not, they are part of a growing scientific interest in psychic phenomena. Scholarly journals devoted to psychic research are found now in university libraries. This field of study, called parapsychology, has been recognized as valid by the American Association for the Advancement of Science. College courses in paranormal phenomena have sprung up on campuses all around the country. It's estimated that 80 different universities offer one course or another in the field, where 5 years ago there were none. ESP received worldwide attention during the moon flight of Apollo 14. Astronaut Edgar Mitchell tried to send telepathic messages back to Earth. Today, Mitchell devotes all his time to research in parapsychology. He recently suggested to a psychic an experiment to dematerialize the NASA camera that he left on the moon and to rematerialize it, cause it to appear again on Earth by psychic power. Edgar Mitchell.
The sensitive person is exhibiting a phenomenon that science has yet to delve into. And all I'm suggesting that the scientific community should be looking into this, because I do not believe we will explain many of the mysteries of living systems or the mysteries of the universe until we address and have some answers about consciousness.
That research laboratory in Brooklyn where the ESP experiment we showed you is going on is the Dream Lab of Maimonides Medical Center. On the theory that ESP operates at an unconscious level, researchers are looking into the subject's dreams. The idea is to see if dreams can be influenced telepathically. Before going to sleep, the subject is wired to a polygraph machine, which tells the researchers when the subject is dreaming during the night. In another room of the hospital, the woman who is sending the ESP message concentrates on a target picture which she has chosen. She is actually attempting to intrude this picture into the subject's dreams. After each dream is ended, they usually last 10 to 20 minutes, the subject is awakened while the dream is still fresh in his mind, and he gives a dream report. In the morning, the subject is asked to describe the target picture based on the dreams he had during the night. On this evening, while 60 Minutes filmed, the subject was able to describe several features of a picture he had never seen.
Okay, Bob, what do you think the target picture could possibly be?
I think the target picture would be one that takes place in an outdoor setting, that it would be some sort of a rural setting with a bit of grass, maybe a few trees around, that there's about 4 or 5 characters in the dream. I think at least 2 of these might be young, teenaged black boys. I think another possible character could be an animal. The animal isn't in a prominent position in the picture. He's a little bit off on the side.
A research team at UCLA uses this darkroom to go a step beyond ESP, to understand the nature of something they call the aura, which they say surrounds all living things, a sort of bioenergy which is transmitted from parts of the body, like the fingertips. The subject places his fingertips directly on a photographic plate to record the energy field around his fingertips. An electric current is passed over the plate. When the paper is developed, an aura can be seen coming from the fingertips, an aura which seems to change depending upon various states of mind.
I'm going to disconnect now, Tom.
If you accept the theory that humans can communicate at an extrasensory level, why rule out a whole other order of living things, like plants?
I'm changing frequency.
This is the hypothesis of Marcel Vogel of IBM in California. Vogel spends his days at IBM as a hard scientist. But after hours and on weekends, he tries to communicate by psychic force with the plant world. The plant in question is a rather wan split philodendron, which Vogel has hooked up to a polygraph machine. The morning we filmed this, Vogel observed, while one of his colleagues, who claims psychic power, took a trip inside the plant itself. In the psychic world, this is sometimes referred to as out-of-body experience.
Let us now look at the cell structure that is present in the stem of the plant.
All right, I'm in the leaf. Let me get down into the stem. Okay, I'm in the stem.
Fine. Now look at the wall cells in the stem and describe what you are now seeing.
All right, I started out more toward the center of the stem. Now,
During the trip, Vogel monitors the polygraph to note the philodendron's reaction to the strange visitor.
now what I'm going to do is generate energy out to the plant. Let's see what happens.
There it goes. There's a response. Send me. The exciting thing is that the plant is not connected to either one of us, but is now a very sensitive monitor of the forces that are within us.
It's dark, it's dark.
Vogel and his associates believe that plants react to psychic forces around them in a way that can be measured by scientific instruments. Can this same bioenergy move objects? In the Soviet Union, where considerable research has been done in parapsychology, a film was made of a Russian psychic displaying psychokinesis, the power to use mind over matter literally. Dr. Montague Ullman of Maimonides Medical Center observed Mrs. Koligina when he visited the Soviet Union.
She did make an effort to move small objects on the table that we were sitting around. And after a while, some of the objects moved. It was a rather interesting thing to observe. I felt it was being shown to me in good faith. I felt the scientist working with her was quite competent and serious in his approach to this. I came away interested and feeling that this is something that should be looked at and investigated more thoroughly. I don't want to be put on the spot and say that I, as a scientist, give you this medical or scientific opinion. I wasn't there for that purpose. I didn't introduce any test conditions.
As Dr. Ullman said, these feats were not performed under rigid controls. In fact, the most difficult thing in parapsychology has been to take individuals who seem to possess unusual psychic power and have them test that power under controlled conditions. An independent research organization in California known as the Stanford Research Institute contracted to study psychic phenomena under laboratory conditions. Last fall, they spent several weeks with a 25-year-old Israeli psychic named Uri Geller, and they cataloged a series of remarkable feats. The research was funded by Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell and by some parapsychological foundations. Do you really believe that you possess extraordinary powers, Mr. Geller?
Call me Uri.
Uri?
I know that I have these powers, and I believe in these powers.
Geller asked me to draw a letter while his back was turned. I drew the letter L, and then he drew something similar. Later, while we were not filming, he psychically bent a knife which was on the table. He had not been willing to try this while the cameras were rolling. He asked me to draw an object while he was out of the room, and he tried to read my mind, to tell me what it was.
Okay, I'm going to put two things that appeared in my mind, and if I'm wrong, you show me what. The first thing that, when I asked, is it a part of a man, the first thing appeared to me was something like this, like this, like this, like this. And then when you kept repeating the word, a B appeared in my mind, and I might be completely wrong. Again, I'm saying it to you. And then this changed to another. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This changed to some sort of a bird or something. I'm wrong?
You're right.
I'm right? Thanks, God.